It's time to make something for a road blazer. We're almost there to 1,000 miles driven. As you can see here inside of the dealership, we don't have any things. So any games of this run inside Vehicle Legends, the Koenigseggs had been removed because due to somewhere for independency, we have something here for the Ferrari FXXK, which is cost for a lot of millions of dollars as well. Even more credits must be going to be trying to find here. Looks like our new vehicles has been produced here, and it started to get back into normal because due to all of its way, to make sure that I'm going to be scrolling down to 250 miles per hour straight, unless we don't have any Koenigseggs anymore, and because of do like I say, we're going to be buying something literally fast, and because we're going to be finding all the way trying to make ourselves by the top speed and handling, using by the Pininfarina as well, by using a McLaren Speedtail, will be gotta be unlocking for today, as we're gonna be scrolling down all the way to 263. I mean, I must reach up to 270 miles per hour, but I'm not pretty sure that they're never gonna be doing like the same as before. We're gonna be down here, as the plan is we're having to get all the way down into 273 mile per hour McLaren Solaris GP 200 mile per hour as well. I must be gonna be saying to 300 miles per hour, but don't worry, it's gonna be the more like the insane for just a little bit. And the fact is that we're gonna be buying for the Bugatti Veyron Super Sport as well. It's the Bugatti Veyron 16.9. But looks like we're having for just like a huge issue amount of these stuff as well. So it looks like we currently have 2 million, and we didn't absolutely gonna be buying a Lexus as well. Not impossible, and because I just own for a McLaren for just a little bit as well, instead of buying the Ferrari GTB as well. So all you have to do, I cannot able to get for buying something like a gas. So it's not gonna be taking for a little bit of good something for as well. And the radio pass was out of good for as well. So it looks like we have currently of vehicles. It might almost gonna be selling the vehicle. It is absolutely for some other kinds of parts as well. And I bought this from the Halloween event. So it looks like saying for they never mind of this one, because I absolutely look and seen around for this one and bought them for this itself. So it looks like we're just gonna be taking for a little bit amount of races to go. We have nobody is racing beyond itself, because looks like going to be a racer, it's absolutely pretty hard. But looks like we have total miles of race. The races one was exactly completed, wasn't able to complete it at all. And because due to it's something like races one, must be gonna be total champions, as we're miles totally driven will be 1 billion as well. Looks like the sunset will be exactly how it's gonna be truly about it is. So before we're gonna be using somewhere other radio, because due to putting myself into copyright claim, and because to do like this one as well, and because of look like this one is gonna be taking a little bit straight to turn on the headlights as well. Looks like we might able to battle with Bugatti Divo. Looks like we're gonna be taking on revenge without using a Ford GT. How is he gonna be taking for much as well? Looks like he doesn't want to use something other kinds of music. Expect I might able to use some hypercars as well. We just absolutely started the music as well. Let's get all the way into blast all the way to start. And looks like I might be able to get starving all over the displays. The Bugatti Divo is blasted around into the lead to 300 miles per hour itself. So looks like we're gonna be in for a debout for this as well. Looks like we're gonna be shocked into 260 miles per hour. Currently it's gonna be 255 miles an hour. But looks like it's gonna be even closer, and made this a statement into 263 miles per hour. Second place, and the first place should be 25.55. This is gonna be so dominant. But this white, it's not a Creme Republic man as well. It's not gonna be very good as well. That was very bad. I'm gonna be using for a very strictly hard. Let's say we're gonna be taking for more of this lap time trials as well. We're gonna be blasting all the way by using an Aston Martin Victor GT1. because this is an RSL that we're going to be using for a manual transmission. It is a 7-gear manual transmission for the Le Mans destination, and it was subject to be banned in USA. So it looks like we're going to be taking a little bit for going on to down here ourselves, and a lack of handling ABS as well. And because to do something is not going to be taking for a little bit right, something is not going to be very right with these other players. Other players will be completing against on the highway race to do like I never gonna be saying. If I just gonna be seeing the chat filter, what sounds like it's absolutely not in for grateful language as well. Because of these unreliable language, will be subject that we're gonna be leaving onto the server, and we just absolutely made for a start for a terrible failure as well for the first time. Because I do this, I just never gonna be taking for this a little bit of speed. On the 6th gear, we'll be subject to beat on to 200 miles per hour straight, and that's gonna be blasting all the way. It looks like I just never gonna be felting all the way by using for 75.43. It's not a good fastest lap. The race is in progress. Where are the other players as well? If we're gonna be using for some kind of a various revenge, we're gonna be using some kind of, was that a Lamborghini V12 Vision Gran Turismo? Looks like it's not gonna be very perfect as always. If this is absolutely for a 3 out of players as well, looks like it's about to get really too late. 2 Corvettes versus Aston Martin Victor, no Nitrox as well. They just gonna be doing for a slower acceleration as well. And because they do something even wrong, I swear I'm gonna be using the Toyota Supra. Not very good as well. So all you have to do is gonna be using again. And probably this is how it's gonna be taking for a little bit amount of work. We have another Toyota Supra, and it's not gonna be major as working as well. The Fast and Furious Supra versus Corvette and another Supra as well. So it looks like it's another in case if there must be in huge trouble as well. It's a little bit loud, but looks like there are some more drag races, and against another ones as well. Looks like we're gonna be using other kinds of cars, except the Supra doesn't make even more fast that I never been into this one. As we're gonna be using for a camera mode, looks like somebody just used the Nitrox or something. I'm gonna be using the Nitrox at all. And because that I maximum upgrades as well, without using Nitrox as well, we still have to do like this as before went. We have a 2 versus 2. Looks like we're going to be doing for only one thing. We're going to be blast over here. Looks like we're going to be using for over 9,000 RPM and blast all the way to our fastest acceleration. One thing this is going to be taking for just a little bit for a 7.4 PSI. Looks like we're just absolutely 8.38 seconds, which is gonna be fast. Let's do for a rematch once again. And because they took me for a very long time, let's gonna be doing for a one more race. For the final match, let's do it for a one more time. We'll be subject to move on. Looks like we're just using for a 9,000 RPM to 10,000 RPM as to blast all the way up here. And we have finished in 8.54 seconds. Looks like we're going to be using for a desert race. And looks like the motorcycle versus Toyota Supra. I think we just gotta be a major mistake or something. Right, so the Ford GT 2005 versus Toyota Supra Mark V. Let's go all the way down into its front. I think that it despawned the crowd as well for the grandstands. Looks like we're gonna be taking for a little bit at front, but taking for a very long time for in terms of gonna be taking for a very much time in corner cutting. Looks like we just absolutely slept off for the car distractments as well, and because we slept off for the track limits as well, started to get spin off and started making things a little bit missing off the track as we hear around the grandstands I guess, and we just absolutely finished in pole position. And what about for this one? It looks like another race should be in itself, and it's time to get more insane, like I'm just gonna be blasting all over to this one by using for the Supra Fast and Furious and taking for a little bit of long time and making things a little bit easy. Supra versus other kinds of cars. Looks like we're gonna be taking a little bit of limited amount of time. I can't able to do like this, but I'm not all ready to try to do like this. As before, we're gonna be changing a one car at a time. It's gonna be taking for around blasting around for a sidejet. I think the Corvette C7 is starting to quit drag racing. That's not even very possible. We're gonna be using the Lamborghini Super Trofeo. Looks like we're just still in race in progress, but somebody just made himself locked all the way. We're not gonna be very worried about this, and because due to a lack of terrible mentions as well. So it looks like even before that is making things a little bit far. It's time for a 1 progress to 2 players as well. Let's see a time trial before we're gonna be end of this video. And this is the part 10 of a supercar battles for just itself for some more drag racing. Looks like we're gonna be all ready to go. It's time for making ourselves for a road blazing like these things. Before we're gonna be reaching about for 1,000 miles. I can't able to reach for about for 1,000 miles at all. And because due to something for some kind of a huge amount of stuff as well. And because I just started to get a little bit lost. I may need a lot of players as well. And because due to something like itself, maybe in the next part will be fully maximum upgrade. It's a limited time for upgrading for this vehicle, but that's enough for just a little bit for myself. It's not gonna be taken for hour worth it because there are no Koenigsegg's whatsoever. So if you like for today's video inside of this, another for premium parts as well in the part 17 or part 16. Looks like thanks for watching. That I'm gonna be see you in 1,000 miles to begin this video.